guys, how's it going? I want to tell you a little story today about my journey trying to uh, break into the cybersecurity industry. Um, I've only posted about bikes so far on YouTube, but I wanted to start doing some more information security stuff since I do have a background in it. And I'd like to tell you the story about how I am trying to transition into cybersecurity myself. So my journey started about 6 years ago. I was trying to find a job, and at the time I was just a substitute teacher at a local high school, teaching AP chemistry actually. And a friend's husband was running a recruiting company at the time. And she thought I'd be a really good recruiter, just because I was personable and easy to talk to. But being a recruiter was not exactly the career path I thought I wanted to go down. But I didn't have many job prospects, and I took a chance. So I started at the recruiting company, and ended up being quite good. I liked connecting with people. Selling jobs and opportunities was awesome. And it's something I've always been good at, is just connecting with people, and it highlighted that. So when I first started at the company, I think they had one cybersecurity client, and the owner saw the opportunity. He saw that, hey, there's a lot of money in this. There's a big market, and so they were trying to build the cybersecurity business, and no one knew anything about cybersecurity. We were just trying to find more clients, and I said, hey, I'll do some business development. I'll take this on, and I'll try and find some new clients for the company. And I absolutely loved it. It was hard to do and understand the industry, but I ended up really loving recruiting in information security. So I recruited and did business development for that company for I think it was like 3 years, until the owner just kind of got fed up of recruiting and decided to close the company. Then I at that point I could go to another company and do recruiting for them. Most likely, some information security recruiting, some just regular recruiting, other opportunities. But I had just fallen in love with the cybersecurity stuff. So I talked to my awesome wife, and she thought it'd be best to just open up my own company that specializes in recruiting and cybersecurity. And that's why I was like, all right, let's do it. So I knew a lot of the people in the industry already. I had a lot of friends. So in about over 4 years ago now, I started a company called Savant. So it's a boutique cybersecurity recruiting company. All I do is recruit in the information and cybersecurity industry. I don't take on any other roles outside of that. And it's been awesome. I've been doing it for 4 years, but in the back of my mind, I always want to see if, hey, this is such a cool industry. Could I become an engineer, or could I become an analyst myself? So, most of my friends were engineers in the industry, and I didn't have many friends that were recruiters. I had some from the previous company I worked at, and they're still actually good friends. But I always found myself connecting the best with the analysts and engineers. I decided, I was like, hey, maybe I can give this a go. But as a recruiter, I see how hard it is. I get pinged. I get talked to a lot about, hey, how do I do this? How do I, break into this really cool industry? And it's very tough. There's not many entry level positions in cybersecurity, because it's not really an entry level industry. Securing people's money and information and data is not exactly, a junior level role. And a lot of the junior level roles, what people see are, they want experience. They're like 2 to 3 years experience, sometimes 5, sometimes crazy certification. So making that transition into cybersecurity it's extremely tough. And I saw it firsthand, so it kind of was discouraging. But it's so cool. It's worth trying to do it. And that's why you see so many people coming from unconventional backgrounds. Not everyone has a cybersecurity degree or a computer science background. because it doesn't even guarantee you a position. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people just out of school struggle to find roles too, and they have a degree in cybersecurity. So my question was like, how do I get into an industry? I have a lot of industry connections, but not much industry knowledge. So I always knew that companies like certification. So my clients always like certifications, and the companies I work with, and I got to know what were the better ones and non-better ones just from recruiting so much in the industry. And whenever I talked to candidates with SANS certifications, I was always quite impressed. The SANS GXPN, I think, is my favorite certification ever. If I see that, I absolutely love it, just because it is quite a advanced certification. So I was trying to find a way to get some SANS certification training. Unfortunately, the bad thing about SANS certifications are they can cost up to $10,000 just for one. So that's extremely limiting to many people, because $10,000 for just one certification, is quite a lot of money. So a friend of mine who I actually met through recruiting had qualified for this program in Maryland, where they help you get a GSEC, which is the Security Essentials, and a GCIH, which is Incident Handling, for free. And they help you get in the industry, but you had to be a woman or a minority and live in the state of Maryland. So unfortunately, I didn't meet any of those qualifications, but I always just kept an eye out there to see, hey, maybe there's another program opening. And in the about a year ago, I saw a program in Virginia called the Virginia Cyber Skills Academy. And if you had a small business, you could potentially qualify for this program. So luckily, I was able to qualify through my own business, which was amazing. So the application process was quite easy. It took a few months. It took some time, but I found out in the spring of this year that I had made it into the spring cohort for the Virginia Cyber Skills Academy. So this would, really begin my make into the industry, to go from a information security recruiter to maybe an information security engineer. So a little bit more about the Virginia Cyber Skills Academy. It's an amazing program. If you qualify, you should absolutely apply. I 100% recommend it. So it's a 6-month intensive program that enrolls you into 3 different SANS certifications. So by the end of 6 months, you should have passed a GFACT, which is the foundational course for SANS, a GSEC, which is Security Essentials, and GCIH. So they kind of build. So GFACT easiest, GSEC kind of mid-level, and GCIH is going to be the hardest. So it's a really nice progression. They actually kind of build upon itself. The GFACT is not exactly well known. I actually had never heard of it. Even being a recruiter in the industry, I've never seen a GFACT before, but it was actually fantastic. Great place to start. Super foundational level and not well known, but great place. The CTO of SANS, James Lynn, does the on-demand course. So he's amazing, super great instructor, and just solid course. Once you pass that, then you get immediately put into the next coursework, which is the GSEC, which is Security Essentials. The instructor was Brian Simon. Again, amazing instructor, super knowledgeable about the coursework. The labs were really good, well thought out, and it just builds upon the GFACT coursework. And you just feel more confident in your knowledge upon completion. And then the last course is the GCH for which is Incident Handling, and the author was Joshua Wright, and he was awesome. I think he was probably my favorite teacher, just because his enthusiasm. He wrote some of the tools in the course, and I was actually really surprised about how much attacker knowledge you gain in the program. So it's from the perspective of the defender, but you do gain quite a good of pen test and offensive security focus. So at the end of this 6-month program, I had passed all 3 SANS certifications. It was amazing. I didn't have to take any reattempts. They give you 2 practice tests for each exam, so they kind of like build it out. So like you start reading all the course material and working through the labs, and then you take 1 practice test, see where you need to improve, take a 2nd practice test. so you need to prove, and then you take your final exam, and hopefully you have passed by then. So I'm no expert at all, but I am leaps and bounds more qualified than I was 6 months ago. So just really thankful to be able to take that program. And so now begins the fun part, right? The job interviewing. It's funny because it's what I do, right? I help people get jobs in information security. So now I have to find myself a job. So I'll definitely do some more posting about how I look for a job and how I went about looking for a job in the industry. And job hunting I love it, so this is kind of the most exciting part. I have no expectations. I'm just kind of out there just seeing who will take me in, honestly. Who wants a salesy guy that can also now do some technical stuff. And what I'll do next, I don't know, but I'm really happy now to be a part of the industry, and hopefully land myself on a great team. If you guys have any questions or comments or want to know anything more about the Virginia Cyber Skills program, leave a comment below. If you want to know anything about finding a job, I'll definitely do some more posts about that. But hey, thanks so much for tuning in.